Today we are moving right along, chapter 7.6, and it's all about fraction multiplication. Okay, so you can expect we're going to multiply one fraction by another fraction. And as promised, this is the shortest learning goal you will probably ever have. You will have succeeded in math today if by the end of math today you can multiply fractions. Okay, but as always, I'm going to say let's first talk about the problem of the day. Our first problem today says Sasha has 3/5 of a scarf left to knit. So how much of the scarf has she already knit? If she has 3/5 left to knit, she's already completed 2/5. So she's almost halfway done with her scarf. Very good. If she finishes half of what's left today, how much of the scarf will Sasha have to, or will she knit today? So is she knitting half of her entire scarf today? No, she's knitting half of what?
Of 3/5.
Yeah, she's going to knit today. She's going to work on half of 3/5 of that scarf. Now, in your notebook, you should have written half of 3/5 if you're taking good notes. And then I'm going to challenge you. How could we turn half of 3/5 into a mathematical expression? Go ahead and write it down. Yeah, we know that the word of means multiplication. So half of 3/5 is the same as 1/2 times 3/5. And that will help us figure out how much Sasha is going to knit today. So we already know one way to do fraction multiplication is to use a model. Why is there a rectangle here that's divided into 5 columns? Claire? We see that the denominator is 5. So can we color in 3/5 of this? Go ahead and in your notebook color in 3/5 of a rectangle. So this blue 3/5 that we shaded in represents the amount that Sasha has still left to make. Okay, this is not made yet. These 2/5, what does that represent? The part that we did not color in. What does that represent, Liam?
The part that she already did.
Yeah, this part is the part that Sasha has already knit. So this is ready to go to wrap around her neck. But this part of the scarf is not yet completed, 3/5. Is she going to knit all of these 3/5 today?
No.
She's only going to knit how much of it? Half. So go ahead and divide that portion into half, right? And then color in half of those 3/5. Now, of course, my question to you is, how many boxes total are there in the scarf right now?
3 tenths.
So there's 10 boxes total. And how many of those tenths is Sasha going to knit today? Arushi? 3. So today she's going to knit 3/10 of the scarf. Okay, this is review from about 2 lessons ago when we learned how to model fraction multiplication. Another way to do fraction multiplication is just to use a math sentence. So we can multiply fractions without using a model. The first thing you need to do is write out the equation, 1/2 times 1/5. Okay? Then you multiply the numerators. What are the numerators in this case? 1 and 3. So I have to multiply 1 times 3, which equals 3. Oh, actually, I write it down here. And then I multiply the denominators next, which are 2 and 5. So 2 times 5 equals 5. Oh, sorry. What is 2 times? Thank you. Again, we have to be very precise when we do math. 2 times 5 is 10. So how much of the scarf will Sasha knit today? 3/10. So you can see that we get the same answer regardless of if we use a model or if we multiply the numerators and then we multiply the denominators. We need to remember that we can write whole numbers as a fraction, right? We just need to give it a denominator of 1. So if our math problem asks us to find 4 times 5/12, the first thing we need to do is write that whole number of 4 as a fraction. How can I write 4 as a fraction? Matthew? Yeah, so 4 times 5/12 is the same as 4 over 1 times 5 over 12. Now, the first step, I need to multiply the numerators. What are my numerators here? I have 4 times 5, right? So 4 times 5 is 20. Then my second step is to multiply the denominators. What are my denominators here? I have 1 and 12. So 1 times 12 is 12. Then I need to check to see, is my answer 20 over 12 in simplest form?
No.
No, because 20 and 12 can both be divided by what factor? Siddharth?
4.
Okay. So I can divide 20 over 12 by 4 over 4, which is a special version of what number? 1. So 20 divided by 4 is? And then 12 divided by 4 is? 3. Now, is that in simplest form? Because it is so we need to properize it. Technically, but it is an improper fraction. So let's make it more proper. So 5 over 3 can be rewritten as? So 4 times 5/12 is equal to? Yeah. Okay, very good.